This is going to be a demonstration of faux finishing with vinegar graining. I'm going to be using the dry pigments for raw sienna, burnt umber, and burnt sienna as my colors. I have the board prepped with paint, darker paint and a lighter paint, in order to show the difference with the same color on different backgrounds. So the formula for the vinegar graining is a 1/4 cup of vinegar, a 1/2 cup of water, and a teaspoon of sugar. Mix all of these together and until the sugar melts, and then add a small amount of the vinegar with a small amount of the pigments until you get a paste. At that point, you want to just add a little bit of more of the liquid until you get a syrupy consistency. Once you get the proper consistency, then what you want to do is just put the graining material on your board or on your project. Make sure that it covers well. And what we're going to be doing is using a stippler for the first color here. And just make sure that everything is covered over, because we will be manipulating it and getting our pattern from there. We're using a stippling brush. So you just want to, on this first pattern, we're just going to stipple an all-over pattern and then let it dry. And we will move on then to the next couple of designs, and I'll show you different strokes of things to try. On this next panel, I'm going to be using the raw sienna again, just putting down my coat of material. And I don't want quite as much of the color on this particular one, so I'm going to blot some of the finish off. And of course, that gives you another idea for different striations on your board. And for this pattern, I'm going to be using a fan brush. And just going back and forth. And that gives another sort of design. On this second panel, I'm going to be using raw sienna on the prepared panel, which is the two colors. Just getting down the material. If you don't like what you've done, all you need to do is take a damp rag and wipe it off and start again. So what we're going to be doing with this pattern is using a feather with the curved edge cut way down and just going across the panel. It will not look like much until it dries and we get the varnish on it. Okay, for this last segment, I'm going to be taking a regular plastic bag, twisting it into a rope, and folding it back over on itself. Once I take the burnt umber and again prepare my panel, then I can take the bag and just daub it on the piece. And it'll look like a rather fancy veneer. Okay, the last step on this process is to varnish it. As you can see, the panel is absolutely dead flat. Once you apply a varnish or a polyurethane to it, it absolutely pops and makes all the difference in the world. This is an extremely simple process. It'll go with almost anything, and certainly a lot cheaper than veneers or solid wood, if you could even get them. This will work on tin, it will work on metal, it will work on just about any surface. Some directions you see will say to use an oil-based primer. Some will say to use a acrylic varnish, acrylic primer base rather. I've used both with good success, and basically the thing to do is to just try it out. It costs very little, and it's certainly a spectacular, absolutely spectacular finish.